everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin, or Hobbit's Reading List, and today we are going to figure out what I will be reading in the month of January. So I do have a consequence book going into January because I did not finish 4 of the books that were on my TBR, although 2 of them were DNFs, and I haven't decided, well, I guess I have decided that that still counts as me not finishing them. So in a way, I'm punishing myself. Maybe I need to rework that. But for now, I'll have a consequence book. Fine. But maybe next time, maybe I won't. If you are new here, I have a TBR game called TBR Pursuit where I use the Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit board. Each color represents a different genre that is on my physical TBR. The 6 most popular genres, which are romance, LGBT, Jewish, classic, psychology, and fantasy. I also have the bigger spots at the end of the spokes represent Miscellaneous to account for all the other books that I have that don't fit into those 6 categories. I also have the roll again spot, which adds a book to my TBR. So I usually do 7 rolls, but if I land on a roll again, then that will add an additional roll. So I'm going to get set up and we're just going to get right into it. Okay, so I don't really have a particular direction I'm aiming for. I have no theme this month. So I'm just gonna roll with it. 4, okay. So I can pretty much go to anywhere on this line. Where do I want to start? Let's just go with LGBT. Okay. Ooh. Alright, a 1-word title. Okay. For an LGBT book with a 1-word title, I have less. I didn't have that many with only 1 word. I think the trend has been for books to have like longer titles, so I think I only have 3 to choose from. But Less is about an author who gets a wedding invitation for his ex-partner, and instead of just declining, he goes on a, like, I think world book tour in order to avoid this wedding. So I don't know, I've seen this like everywhere, and from what I know they're like mixed reviews, but it sounds interesting, so we'll see how I like it. I'm kind of hesitant just because of the mixed reviews that I've heard, but we'll see. Alright, second roll. 3, so 1, 2, 3, psychology, or 1, 2, 3, romance. Well, I'm gonna go for romance, of course. If I can avoid a psychology book, I will, because most of them are non-fiction. Ooh, alright. I like this. A 5-star prediction. It's a great way to start the year. Okay, a romance that is a 5-star prediction. For this, I picked up a sequel. Rulebook for Restless Rogues by Jess, Everlee. I read the first book in this world, this series, which is A Gentleman's Guide to something vices. I'll put it up. But I gave that a 5-star, and so it would make sense if this was a 5-star as well. So this is not, it is kind of a direct sequel, but also not. It takes place in the same world at the same Molly house that the main character in the first book frequents. And it is about David and Noah, who are like childhood friends, and David ends up running the Molly house called the Curious Fox, and he really enjoys it, but it is being threatened to close down, and Noah and David have to like work together to keep it open, and they discover some like secrets about each other along the way. but pretty much it's friends to lovers, and it is historical fiction, which are my favorite things. So this should be another 5-star. 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, just, of course, psychology. I don't typically like going through the center because I feel like it's a little bit like cheating after the first one, because I can pretty much decide which color I want. So I'll go with psychology. Okay. It's a hardback. Okay. A psychology book that is hardback. Is this strictly psychology? No. But it is a hardback, which is apparently kind of difficult in nonfiction books. I don't have that many. So, the Scientific American Book of Sex, Love, and the Brain. It's what it says on the tin. You know, it's about how sex and love impact your brain and vice versa. So, it's always something that's good to know, and I've had this for probably like a decade, so I'll be excited to actually read it. Okay, let's get away from this book. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Classic. I did say I want to get away from. Okay, I want to get away from this book because I'm just hovering here, so I will add a book. Because why not? Oh shit. Alright. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jewish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is classic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is romance. Let's go ahead and do Jewish. I'll get over here. I have to kind of speed this up a little bit because I'm on 1 bar on my camera. Alright. It's another hardback, but Jewish this time. For another hardback. So I have Broken Strings. So this is I believe it's young adult. Is it middle grade? I think it's young adult. So this is about a girl named Shelley who, it's set in 2002, and she gets a part in Fiddler on the Roof, although it's not the part that she wants. But she is playing opposite a very cute boy, and so she decides to throw herself into the role, and in doing so, she tries to find like props that she can use for the character, and what she finds is this violin that's in the attic, and she goes to talk to her grandfather about it, and he gets very angry. And so my assumption is that the violin belonged to either him or someone in his family that he lost in the Holocaust, and so it's triggering his grief, and Shirley will end up finding out about that. So I think this sounds really powerful for being a young adult book. I'd be interested to see like just how it's presented. Also, like the idea that there's also, you know, a romance element is also very interesting. So yeah, I think it'll be good to read about because I've had this for a couple months. So okay, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just roll again. I'm not gonna do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's classic. 2, 3, 4. It's classic. Okay. I'll go for classic. Ooh, summer vibes. Not my favorite, because it's winter. For a classic book that has summer vibes, I selected Piccadilly Jim, which is a Wodehouse book. From what I know, Piccadilly Jim is the nephew of a character we've met previously, and he's kind of a rascal. He's kind of popular with the ladies. And that's really all I know, but I also know that, well, I'm assuming it takes place in or around summer, because there was a mention of a character like wanting to go watch baseball. So that's what I've got. I don't really associate classic literature with summer. And so that's the leap that I made. 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Psychology. 6, which is classic. Son of a... I guess I'll go for classic again. Which I guess is fitting for winter. Ah, son of a... Gothic. Great. Another classic book. This one is Gothic. So, I'm going to put a little caveat on this. I selected Frankenstein, but the reason I have this is because I'm taking a class in the spring that is the politics of Gothic literature, of British Gothic literature, I believe. So, I don't have my syllabus yet, so I don't know what books we're going to be reading when. I know that I have to read 5 novels for this class. Frankenstein is one of them. I took a guess that it would be the first one, and if I'm wrong, when I get the syllabus in 2 weeks, I will switch to that book, because all of them are going to be Gothic. So all of them fit this prompt. But I'm not going to read Frankenstein if I actually have to read a different Gothic literature. So that's my caveat. But Frankenstein is, I don't think I have to tell people what it's about. The mad scientist creates a being from dead bodies, and it ends horribly. That's pretty much a summary. But if I do end up switching to a different book because it is assigned first, I will mention that in my vlog. See if I can do this before my battery dies. 3. 1, 2, 3, Miscellaneous. 1, 2, 3, Psychology. Miscellaneous it is! A dad pick. Oh, he's gonna get so mad at me. Alright. He already has picked my consequence book. A dad pick. So, I don't have it with me. It's actually downstairs, and I'm trying to do this somewhat quickly because Chris would like to play video games. But Dad picked A Raisin in the Sun, which is a play by Lorraine Hansberry, and it is about a black family in Chicago and how they live their lives and how the society around them impacts them. That's pretty much what I know. It was recommended to me on my channel when I asked people to give me more classic literature written by BIPOC authors, and so this is the book that I'm starting with, and I'm very excited to read it. So yeah. Alright. Hopefully the final roll. 1. So Jewish. Okay. A book with a holiday. Perfect. Okay. A Jewish book with a holiday. Mistletoe and Mishigas by M.A. Wardell. This is the second book in his teacher series. I forget what it's called, but it is following a different teacher in the school that the first book was set in, and Theo is a janitor at the school, and they end up having to work together because they both need a date to different events. What's his name? Sheldon needs a date to his ex-boyfriend's Christmas Eve wedding, and then Theo needs a date to Hanukkah, and so they agree to do that, and they realize that opposites attract. So more of my favorite things, honestly. Okay. And since I didn't finish 3 books from last month, I did have a consequence book, which my dad picked, Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I have previously tried to read this, but it was when I had COVID, and so I was not able to focus. And I just read it because it was the only book I had in my bedroom, which is where I was quarantined. But it follows a single day in the life of Mrs. Dalloway. And while she's preparing for a party and being the perfect hostess. That's the gist. But I don't know, I'll be interested. Hopefully I can like actually read and understand it more than when I tried last time, because last time it was just pure gibberish. So this time should be better. So those are the 9 books that I will be trying to read in January. If you have read any of these books or have any of these books on your TBR, leave me a comment. Otherwise, like the video, subscribe, click the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload a weekly vlog so that you can see my thoughts in real time. But I will talk to you guys in the next video when I start reading these books. Bye!